Hey guys, this is Sean with You Find Hope. I'm here live with you just to bring you some encouragement and some direction of some of the things that may be going on in your life and to connect with you and relate with you with some of the things that are going on in my own life. Um, just recently, I was involved in a tragic car accident that resulted ultimately in the death of a driver in the other vehicle. And this really impacted my life. And as I was going over the last 5 years of the things that have happened in my life, I thought, man, you know what? I thought I was done with all these extreme events and occurrences happening in my life. I thought that I wasn't going to go through any more life shattering events that would seriously impact me and impact my family as a husband and as a father, as a son and a brother. This has just been something that recently occurred, and I just wanted to share it with you viewers that maybe you have gone through something similar to this, and you're struggling with feeling hopeless. You're struggling with, well, where do I turn? What do I do next? You might be even struggling with a lot of fearful thoughts of what if this happens? What if that happens? And so on and so forth. In this particular case with me, I was in a situation where I was not at fault, thank God. But it resulted in serious effects on the other individual's life and family's life by the choice that they made. And I live my life by the motto of open roads. We get to choose which direction we go down. We get to choose the choices we make. And based on those choices, there's going to be blessings or consequences from them. And how we go about our life and living out our life dramatically affects those choices. Something that has helped me as an individual and as a family man, as a businessman as well, is staying focused on God through every circumstance, no matter what it is. It may be something that is catastrophic, like this car accident that you are going through. It might be a divorce. It might be a loss of a friend, family member, or loved one. It could be starting a new company. It could be an exciting new vacation, buying a new home. You get my point. There's a lot of things that happen in our lives that can be really good and really bad. You could be facing criminal charges and going through something catastrophic in that manner. You could be moving to a new location, starting a new job. You could be having a baby, getting married. There's a lot of events that happen in our lives that affect us extremely and really impact us, whether it's good or bad. And one thing that I have learned going from being a Christian man, Bible believing man, to turning completely away from God and being pulled fully back, full force into serving God and believing in God. One thing that I have learned through all of my experiences and being only in my 30s is that if I put God first and I recognize Him in every situation and I see the positive, I see the good, whatever it may be, it is going to change how I feel about the situation. It's going to change how I react and respond to the situation. It's going to have a major impact on my life. I noticed the verse for today was Psalms 9:1, and it says, "I will give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of all your wonderful deeds." You can't go wrong seeing the good and the positive, even in the negative. In my particular circumstance, it's been hard because I struggle with how and why. Why did God allow this to happen? Why was I involved in this accident? What if scenarios? What if I did this? What if I did that? And these may be things that you yourself are going through and have done and have thought through yourself. And I know exactly what that's like. Going through this car accident, yes, it has impacted me. And I've had all those same questions myself. Through it, though, I've continued to remember that God is in control and that God's using this situation for a reason, for a purpose, for a plan, whether I understand it or know it or not. I know a lot of people, and maybe even some of you are watching this, have maybe questioned God in the sense of believing in God, maybe even turned away from God because of a catastrophic event that happened in your life. I met someone over last weekend, and this individual had explained to me about how his significant other had turned away from God, despite he had not. That when his significant other turned away from God, it was a catastrophic event that happened in her life, which was the loss of a father in her young adult years. And this really impacted her that she turned against God. And it made me think of other people that I know that I'm connected with, I'm involved with in my life from a young age that I grew up with that were dealing with life shattering events, diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. One friend that I'm close with was encountering, and this made him question and turn against God because he struggled with understanding why and how could God allow something like this to happen. And well, I've struggled with those very same thoughts as well. And I just want you to know that you're not alone, and that we all have gone through some form of earth-shattering event in our life, one way or another. May not be as earth-shattering to one person as it is to another, but to you, it's something that has seriously and dramatically impacted your life at some point or another. And I want you to know that no matter what you're going through and dealing with, that you're not alone, that God is there with you, and that you can overcome this situation and you can see the hope, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel if you stay on course to having faith. Now, this is the hardest thing, and this is where we're tested is in our faith. Are we going to trust God? Are we going to believe in God no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the situation is? Are we going to focus on the good? Are we going to praise God and tell others, like in Psalms 1, or excuse me, Psalms 9:1 says that I will tell of all your wonderful deeds. Are we going to focus on the wonderful deeds, or are we going to focus on what we see as the negative in that point in time of our life? If I focus on all of the what ifs or the fearful thoughts, or what if I did this differently, what if I did that, then maybe this other individual wouldn't have gotten hurt. Why am I alive? Why am I okay? Why am I sitting here right now talking to you guys instead of being in the hospital or being the one that lost his life? These are things that really can make one ultimately lose their mind if they focus on these things. Now, we're not God, and if we were intended to be God, then we would know and understand all things that God does. But God is all knowing, all understanding, all foreseeing, and He does have a purpose and plan for what happens in our lives, and ultimately in control of the things that happen in our lives. And if we reference to the book of Job, we can read how Satan was given permission to intervene into Job's life. Now, Satan had no ability to take Job's personal life, but he was allowed to inflict pain and suffering and havoc into his life But despite all of that, he did not deny God, even though his very own wife said, Joe, what are you doing? Deny God, curse God, and die. But Job refused to do that. And in return, everything was restored back to him that was stolen from him. And I personally have experienced this in my own life as a family man, as a business owner, as a entrepreneur, as a Christian, and so forth. I have experienced circumstances in my life that I never thought I would go through. And looking back over the years, again, only being in my early 30s, uh, amazed at the things that I've gone through in my life. From losing my father at 16 to dealing with some false charges and accusations that I was acquitted from that seriously impacted my life and my family's life, that was immensely stressful and difficult, to losing a child. Um, and now to the ups and downs of financial struggles and working for employers, to being an independent business owner, going through a divorce, losing a spouse. I I think there's a lot of things that a lot of you probably never even experienced that I have gone through and experienced. And I will gladly share my story, my testimony with you all on this channel. So you can get to know a little bit about me, a little bit about my family, what I've gone through, what I've been through, one extreme to the next. And I'm sitting here still to this day to talk to you, to tell you there is hope. There is encouragement for you to go to the next step. You're not alone. There is hope, and you will get through this. Stay focused on God. Do not lose heart. Remember, there is good in every situation. Find that good and focus on that good. For example, I'm here alive talking to you right now. I am sitting in a home with cover over my head. I have food to eat. I have family who loves me. I am a free man, and I have so many things to be grateful and thankful to God for. And so do you. Even if you may not feel like that right now, there is good. And I guarantee you, if you focus on those things, if you focus on the good things, and you tell of all the wonderful deeds that God has done for you, as it says in Psalms 9:1, it will turn your circumstances around. It will encourage you even in the bad and the negative, even if your heart is in your stomach and you just feel completely alone and miserable. Whatever it may be, whether you're in the good or in the bad, that there is always hope, and that no matter the situation, to stay focused on the good in your life and stay focused on the positive in every circumstance, and you will come through it. And I am happy to say that you are not alone, and there are many, many, many people like myself who have gone through extreme events in their life and have come out on the other side, to see and focus on the good of those events and how that impacted their life. For example, again, like the loss of my father, this was something that impacted my life to this very day, that impacts my life. He was a good man. He was someone that I was very close to and that I loved very, very much and was my best friend. And when he died, it shattered my life. It was a sudden uh, illness that he was inflicted with, that came upon him, and he died suddenly, and it rocked my world. And to this day now, as a father, it still impacts me when I think about the things that I've missed out on experiencing with him, and that the involvement of him in my life could have changed decisions that I made, and roads that I went down. But remember, no matter what happens in your life, you have a choice. You get to decide, you get to choose what you're going to do, where you're going in life and how you're going to handle that situation. Now, this is the most crucial time of your life. If you're going through something right now that is a tragedy, that you are dealing with that depression, that misery, that hopelessness, that uh, shakiness inside, you need to make a decision on where you're going to divert your attention on. Are you going to divert your attention onto your feelings and your circumstances? Or are you going to divert your attention onto what really matters and what's most important? So I encourage you to, whether you believe in God or not, to get on your knees and have a conversation with Him. Uh, Download the YouVersion Bible app or another Bible app. Get in the Word and find out what God says about the things in your life and how He will work all things out for the good for those who love Him, as it says in Romans 8. So be encouraged. If you want to send me an email or a message, by all means, go ahead and send me an email. If I can be of any encouragement or directing into the circumstances in your life to help you overcome it, whatever I can do, just even sharing my own experiences here on this channel, I hope it will encourage you. I hope it will help you. I hope you will know that there is another side of what you're going through right now, and it isn't how it feels or seems right now. You may have that disparity right now. You may have that hopelessness now. You may have that I wish God would have just taken me instead uh, mindset. And I know what that's like. I've been there. I've dealt with that recently. Um, but despite that, change your mind, change your focus, put it on God, focus on the good, focus on the positive things in your life, what you have, and the good things that have come out of the circumstances. And I guarantee you, one day you will look back on this time and those experiences that have happened in your life and be like, wow, I can't believe how much I've grown from then and what I've learned. And God will use it. And right here and right now, I hope that God will use this message to encourage you and to bring you through the circumstances you're going through right now. If nothing else, to know that there's lots of other people out here in the world that have gone through terrible things, worse things, and things that have been worse than things I've gone through. So, God bless you, and let me know what you think. Um, Share my channel if you would, and give us your feedback, your thoughts about this video and future videos that are coming out, and let me know what you would like to hear as well, me talk about and to share with you. And I'll be glad to take everything into consideration. So take care, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. And God bless you and your family.